Hey guys, so as you see, we're in a much better situation now than we were a couple hours ago. I went a little heavy on the nubrite, and that's what will happen. You'll actually stain the evaporator coil. I did a little bit heavier because it was that bad. I could probably get that off and have to scrub it a little bit with the brush, which I was trying not to do, but I added myself a little bit of work to it due to that. Gotta wait for this to dry off. I'm gonna take the brush to it, wire brush to it. See, it's a little thin down here at the bottom. And we'll do a drain hole mod too. Got that drying out pretty good. It's still kind of nasty. There's some stuff in the back. I'm gonna take the shop vac and try to suck some of it out. It's nasty. This down here is pretty much gone, as you can see. But that's okay. When I get it back, I'll probably cut it apart and redo everything, try to reinforce everything the best I can. Yeah, the compressor. Let me try to make sure there's no spiders here first, or I will have a conniption. I'm probably gonna scream and I'm gonna have to remake the video. Alright, looks like we got, I don't know if you can see it here. Date code looks like D, C, oh, B, D, hang on. Let me get the wire brush. Small wire, here it is right here. It's such a well-built unit. I feel like it's definitely worth a full restoration in the future. Like I said, I wouldn't do it now, but they kind of need it soon. All right, so we got D, G, 1 dot. So that's, I forget what D means, but G would be July 23rd, 1970. So this is probably bought and installed in 1971. So it turns 50 years old. This year or last year, so let's call it 50 years old. So 5 decades of service. Everything cleaned up pretty nicely. I got all the crap out of it. The tag didn't make it. Like I said, I went a little bit heavier on the nubrite, admittedly, than I usually do. Oh. All right. Let's see. I got this pretty good. We use a wire brush on the louvers because you're not going to get the wire brush in there. You're going to get the sun. Just like that. It's time consuming, but you'll get it. Just so you know, I actually already did it. But just going over to show. Actually, no, I didn't do the sides yet. So you know, if something's dark when you're done, get the heavy stuff off, it'll be kind of like a lighter color. That's how you know. I got this wire brush on my little walkie. That pretty much is self-explanatory as well. Stuff off first. I took the feathers badge off obviously because I'm planning on painting it. These just screw on from the back, so if you're ever trying to jack one of these off like an old abandoned building or something like that, I may or may not have done this before. You take your 11-in-1, take this screw out, that screw out, and 2 right here, pop it off and just take the whole freaking thing. I'm not saying go up to somebody's house and do that, but if there just so happens to be, you know, a back alley somewhere that might have an old feathers, and you want to take the shield or the F badge off, that's how you do it. And the metal shields are even easier. Those you just clip them off. Just be careful because they're real brittle, you know, at this day and age. But yeah, I may or may not have done stuff like that before. Never off an occupied property or business, but abandoned buildings where it's just a sleeve or whatever. Or you can take the whole unit. I may or may not have done that before too. Alright, hang on. Just for shits and giggles here. I recommend using glass when you're doing this. Now, I'm not much of a PPE guy because I don't like to be inconvenienced. But it's probably good. it's a slow and tedious process, but it's what you got to do to get it done right. You know, technically to do it right, you got the whole freaking thing, but like I said, they kind of need this soon. We'll drill a drain hole quick. I'll go in and get some drill bits and we'll get it set up. And I'll show you how I usually do the drain hole mod. I usually do recommend for if you're new to it, I drill the drain hole sides from the inside out instead of from the outside in. Because if not, what's going to happen is you could potentially hit the condenser coils or a refrigerant line if you're not careful. So yeah, I'm probably going to drill the hole right here because it looks like that's where, yeah, it is. That's where the condensate comes out, right there. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can drill it. You can take some caulk, put it here, and drill a drain hole like right here. But to do before I do that, I want to make sure that that's the only place that the condensate comes out. So I might actually drill two. I might make the channel with the caulking, and then drill a hole here, and then have one here in case some of it gets by it. So, like I said, with this, you're not gonna be able to fix this rust, but you can stop it from getting any worse. And I think that's kind of like where we're at with this right now. I feel like I said, it's definitely savable, but without taking it apart, the best thing you can do right now is, hell out of here. Best you can do with it right now is keep it from getting worse than it already is. Like I said, the chassis really is not that bad, providing that this unit was grossly neglected. It's actually a sin that they don't, how the people treat these things, to be completely honest with you. Luckily, they're built well enough to be able to hold up to the abuse. Fan motor spins very freely, which is good. Because realistically, the whole thing should be redone. So yeah, we're gonna go get a drill bit quick, and I will drill those two drain holes. So my garage is still a little bit of a mess at the moment. As you can tell, gotta restart that disc again too because it's over. Won't get full again. It's the last one on there. So yeah, we got this, and I'm gonna put you down for this. It might actually be in here yet. Yeah, here we go. Does that start yet? What the hell, man? Come on. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Yeah, I don't work good without music. We'll go 5/16 pilot hole and end with a 7/16 should be adequate enough, I believe. You know, we'll start with a small pilot. Gets through the metal better. That's a 3/16 pilot hole. Then a 5/16 secondary one, and finally a 7/16. I don't know if I really want to go any bigger than that. It's not really necessary, to be completely honest with you. Alright. I'm gonna do, mind you, I'm gonna be doing this one-handed. Which kind of sucks, but it's okay. I can handle it. I get a lot of people asking me about these drill hole mods. Like I said, you just gotta be very careful. Use common sense. Like I said, I'm not gonna show you the outside in way because I don't want to teach people that. That's something you're gonna figure out when you're on your own, when you're confident enough to be modifying these units. Like I said, if you F it up, there's only a handful of guys on here that can fix it, and I am not one of them. I have a 4-hour drive for that. Very careful. That's all I can tell you. Watch out for the hub too. Make sure you're not rubbing against the refrigerant line. When you have a unit propped up like this, be careful too, because you could easily knock it over if you put too much force. Like I said, that for the salt chips, or not salt chips, the metal shavings. You just kind of brush them out or squirt it with the hose and you're done. You'll get it out of there just fine. And like I said, I was gonna do one like right here too. Now this one here, you're gonna be able to mess with a little bit. because that one's kind of like on good metal, and there's nothing in front of it, so we can drill that one from the outside and make it easier. Do I recommend doing this on every unit, even if it's new old stock? The answer is yes, absolutely. As you can see, this unit here runs completely perfectly. There ain't nothing wrong with it. But look at the rust. This unit is probably only a few seasons away from complete failure due to rust. Like I said, it's rusting around the refrigerant coils for the condenser. So that's not good. You don't want that. It's actually amazing it doesn't have a leak. So the idea is to prevent that. It might run a couple degrees warmer, but so what? That's a small price to pay for ensuring that your unit is not going to rot out, because that's what's going to happen. That's going to fail before anything else is your actual chassis. It's a shame, and it's a piss poor design, but unfortunately that's the way it is. And so I've had a few people comment and give me negative feedback on that, but trust me, because I have my reasons. All right, so we're going to step up to the next size. The reason I drew pilot holes, and this applies with anything, wood, anything, always use a pilot hole, because first of all, it makes it easier for you to drill it. Smaller hole, less resistance, easier to drill, easier on your equipment, and you're less likely to slip and F something up. Like I said, with these, you don't really want to F anything up, because there's only a select few guys that can fix it. I'm eventually going to try to learn this, but for now I don't know it, so it is what it is. So starting to get it cleaned out. Set your clutch too, so it doesn't do anything separate. Can't stress the clutch. See how easy that can happen? I did hit it a little bit. No damage. It's not through, but it did show some of the rush a lot of the corrosion off. So if you would have hit that with the bit and not the hub of the drill, you almost definitely would have created a major problem. I might actually leave that, because if you look, I'm gonna go for it. We're gonna be really careful. I should probably just leave it alone though. And this one we're gonna do from the outside because it's easier. Because we know for a fact, if you look in here, we know for a fact we're not gonna hit nothing. Still, I mean, obviously have control. Don't go all the way in for no reason, just in case you miscalculate. Like that, there's nothing you can do, but if you're doing that like right here, yeah, you could go in through here and do it that way. But if you go too far over to the side, you're gonna hit right where that coil is. And then your unit's pretty much a paperweight until you find somebody that can fix it. And it's just a waste of R22, because R22 is very uncommon anymore, and when you do come across it, usually paying top dollar. So we actually might not do this right next to the coils. I'm gonna see how much room I actually have to play with it. Do I have enough room? Oh man. Yeah, we'll do it. I don't really like how close we are though, if I must be completely honest. Nah, we're leaving it like that. Look at that. You can barely fit a piece of paper between that and the ring. So very important. Know your limits. Know when you should stop. You see that? I'm gonna zoom in. See how close you are right there? You have next to no room for error. If that slips, man, you're gonna destroy that coil. So we're gonna leave that. And that'll be for if this hole here fails. The sun's really messing with the camera. There you go. Done. And then, like I said, if you want to leave it that way, you can. I personally would opt to. I can zoom this back out. My bad, I totally messed that up. Tell you what, this camera's a lot better than my Samsung. in some ways, but the autofocus kind of sucks on it. But yeah, you put a channel right here with some caulking, put it like maybe a 1/4 inch high, go up like this, over and around. So when the condensate drips out of here, this hole from your evaporator pan, it goes right outside. Now you're gonna get some fluids dripping off of your tubing for your compressor too, that go off the evaporator side. So that might build up a little bit. So it wouldn't hurt to put a drain hole on that side too, on the compressor side, but you don't have to. It's all gonna come down here, and it's not gonna be enough water accumulation for it to actually be a problem anyway. But yeah, that's how you do the drain hole mod. It's not rocket science. You do not have to get fancy with it like I did for the feathers, where there's actually a little tube coming out here that I attached the hoses to, and then drilled it and then put hose fittings in down here. You do not have to do all that. That's kind of ludicrous, actually, to be honest with you. This takes far too much time, and it's potential clog points. It's just the easier way to go is that. Now you can get plugs for these holes if you want to make it so during the summer months, if you were really that weird about not having condensate build up in there, which trust me, you do not want condensate building up in here. But if you're one of those people that just don't freaking get it for whatever reason, you want to argue tooth and nail about it, get a freaking plug and plug it up. And then in the winter time, when the cooling season's over, or when you're not using it, pull the plug out so it can drain, or pull it out when you're done using it. That'll be fine. But I would just recommend not leaving water in there at all, because this is what you get. This is what happens. This is why these units get so bad. All that crap that's built up in the back there on the evaporator still, I got most of it off. But you do got a slight amount of coil rot, nothing major. I do gotta nubrite that one more time. There's still a lot of black on it, but I'm gonna go in the back with the pressure, or not the pressure washer, the vacuum, shop vac, and try to suck most of the rest of that crap out. As you see, it is all rust chips. That's all it is, rust chips. And that could all be avoided by A, proper maintenance, and B, having a drain hole so your unit don't rot out to begin with. How about it? Ain't that some shit? Anyway, guys, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and for lucky, I'll have one more by the end of the night showing it complete, because it's not going to take me that much longer to do this. All the hard crap's done. The longest part now is going to be waiting for this beast to dry out so I can finish it and paint it, and that's it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day, nice day.